If you think there's nothing to do in Newcastle and Lawrence County, then think again. Always stay connected to NCTV45 to receive the information on events going on in and around the area on a daily basis. Programs to view are Newswatch, The Morning Show, and Community Happenings. NCTV45 takes pride in bringing you the event and organization info that you want. NCTV45 is the #1 media source locally. NCTV45, anytime on your time.
And on this Monday, the 31st of October, you know, there are times when you need to, on the cusp of November, basically a week from tomorrow, is Election Day. And I see people saying, get out and vote. Good thing. NCTV45 encourages you to get out and vote. But we're the only ones that maybe, or one of the few, that have maybe encouraged you to know the issues. Now, right here, a little card that went out. And, I watched an interesting presentation by folks from the Latina community. And the Latinos were asked what they were. And so they said, better than that, let's define this. And what I've always said is for you to be informed. Now, with that, let's talk about some of the races, because that becomes how you'll base stuff on your vote, or at least how you should. Probably, and you'll agree with me, that you shouldn't vote just because, well, you voted for this person and, you should vote for them just because you were a member of a certain party. Well, here you go. Here's Marla Brown. And we're going to compare, Marla to Chris Sonata. And why not, let's move this right there, because I want you to see the guy who takes a lot of pictures. Well, there you go. That makes it look a little bit better. Let's take a look. Chris Sonata takes a lot of pictures. He'll take a picture with everybody. But I have to believe, because I'm forced with no other choice, we asked Chris. We asked Marla and Chris to come in and do a Meet the Candidate. Chris said he was running unopposed in the spring. So he said he'd rather do it in the fall. Okay. But he must have been so busy taking pictures that he couldn't remember to come in. Marla has been accessible. Call Marla. She answers the phone. She gets out and she meets you. So, what does that tell you? When Vital Statistics moved into a new building, Chris didn't know what was happening. When they talked about the track, Chris didn't know what was happening. And he said to me personally, all the way back when it was the St. Vitus Festival, we're kind of lucky here because, after all, most of our people are retired. And so the bad economic conditions don't affect us that much. Those were his quotes. So you have to vote Marla Brown unless you're happy with not having any economic development. But by voting Marla Brown, you'll give Chris a greater opportunity to take pictures with you. And isn't that a nice thing? It'll free up some of his time. So just a thought there in that election that maybe you haven't been told. Because I keep telling you, when you vote, be informed. You have to be. If you're not, you're just casting a vote for maybe somebody you took a picture with. This little hanger that had gone out, the question becomes, what do you believe in? Now, Josh Shapiro, make no mistake, is handpicked from Governor Tom Wolf. So let's see what Governor Tom Wolf and Josh Shapiro stand for. Now, keep in mind, okay, that once again, Doug Mastriano on NCTV45. We had him on as a Meet the Candidate. He, very nice guy, took the time to stop and listen to what was going on, what was being said, and all around, great individual. But the media trying to paint Doug as an extremist. So what we have to ask is, are you an extremist? My first question to you is, do you believe in killing babies? Abortion on demand. If you said no, you're maybe interested in voting for Doug Mastriano. If you said that, and this came out the other day, that unverified ballots had gone out in Pennsylvania. If you believe that, no big deal, I show mine all the time when I go to vote, there should be a voter ID, then you'd be for Doug Mastriano. If you think that girls are girls and boys are boys, and girls' sports should be just that, girls' sports, then you should vote for Doug Mastriano. If you believe in religious liberties for churches and pastors, then you should vote for Doug Mastriano. If you would like to defund a group like Planned Parenthood, then you should vote for Doug Mastriano. And if you're like me, that when you were in school, they told you marijuana was an entry-level drug, and you're against legalizing recreational marijuana, then you should vote for Doug Mastriano. It's clear. Don't believe the rhetoric that goes on. If you're going to listen and you're going to watch other stations, which I encourage you to, then you should, without a doubt, listen to both sides. Be informed. Doug Mastriano, an important choice. Now, that's not really it. I'm going to continue with my open. Here's another guy that's constantly been accessible. Aaron Bernstein. Aaron, constantly there every time you need to call him. Aaron, I got a question. You folks down in Elwood City that they did the restructuring now, it's kind of crazy. But you need to tell your friends to vote for Aaron. Very, very important in this time when so much is on the line. Your beliefs are on the line. The beliefs you instilled in your children are on the line. Make sure you think about that. Here's another guy. Accessible. You've seen him right here on NCTV45. Mike Kelly. You have an issue? Mike is right there. You know, back some time ago, there was a slogan, I like Mike. Well, yeah. Mike, a great guy, well-versed in our area, and knows what's going on in Washington. Now, to those who say, geez, you've talked a lot about Republican candidates. Well, the issue is clear. I asked the Democrats to come on the station without any equivocation. They all haven't made it. They all decided maybe they had pictures to take. Our picture man right there. You know, it becomes unbelievable. And for those of you that need to take a step back and say, well, you know, the Pennsylvania Senate also in kind of question. Well, let's take a look at it. Let's be informed. Okay, you have John Fetterman running against Dr. Oz. Well, let's again take a look at the issues that are important as you get to November 8th. Killing babies. Do you believe in that? Well, Dr. Oz says no. He's a doctor. Withdraw from the nuclear deal. Now that, you might think, well, that's way up there. It's so far up there that it affects you. Because that means there's another potential nuclear power in the form of Iran. And I think you're old enough, if you're voting, to remember the terroristic actions that have happened in that part of the world. Legalization of recreational marijuana. Again, an entry-level drug. You have a doctor saying, don't think it's a good idea. You have another guy, well, he's wearing his best hoodie. We already said about you go to the polls. I don't feel bad when somebody says, hey, what's your name? And I show an ID. I'm proud of who I am. Now, don't you think in an election where the current Secretary of State was told to pay attention to what's going on, and unverified ballots went out, that reported by several news groups, don't you think that that's kind of important to know who you are and verify your vote so it counts? Yes, protecting girls' sports. Dr. Oz knows the difference between girls and boys. Medicare for all. Now, see, they twisted what that means. Okay? They are not talking, seniors, about doing away with your Medicare, your Social Security. That's not on the table. They're talking about you being able to have the freedom of choice for health care, especially for those 18 to 64. Freedom of health care. So you can choose your doctor. You can choose what's going on. And we're talking about the Senate here. Immigration and sanctuary cities. Well, there's no doubt that Mr. Fetterman believes that. If you come into the country illegally, you're not here legally. Taxpayer Protection Pledge. Yes, Dr. Oz believes in that. So it is important for you to vote. But NCTV45 just doesn't say vote. They say be an informed voter. Very, very important. Going to happen in a week. I'm going to tell you, the blitz is going to be on. Yeah, they're going to make sure they hit you with information, disinformation, and everything in the next coming weeks. Now, one way you can be informed, Dr. Oz will be an expert for a rally. I'm going to put the link, if you would, on the website or on the comment line here so that for you folks, you get to see it, and that for Dr. Oz. Now, also going on, and he's going to be there And this was sent out. He's going to be there on Friday, the 4th. Then President Trump and Doug Mastriano are going to have a Save American rally. This in Latrobe. So the first link with Dr. Oz, and I'll put that there for you. So first link is with Dr. Oz, and the second is President Trump. It's very important that you get to know what's going on. And this is a great way to be informed, because with that, you're able to find out what's going on and actually get it not second-handed, but straight from kind of like the horse's mouth. You can ask them how they feel. Get that information. Not have it come to you secondhand. So I felt it was very important to tell you to not just vote, but NCTV45 says be an informed voter. Know what you're voting for. Well, folks, that's going to do it for this edition of NCTV45 Newswatch. Yes, as you get out and about today, I hope you have a safe, happy Halloween, a safety one too. And make sure that you tell a friend and have a friend tell a friend about NCTV45. They'll be glad you did. And when they say, oh, geez, I don't watch a lot of TV, or you tell them this.
NCTV45, the train, anytime on your time.
That's right, we're NCTV45, the train. We're available anytime on your time. And any place you are. All those social media outlets, NCTV45.com. Yes, we're there for you. Keeping you informed, giving you it straight, just how it comes right down the road at you. No fancy spins, just the stuff you need to know. Now, as I say each and every day, very, very important, make sure you get that second cup of coffee and have a super day in what I call the greatest castle in the world, in the county of Lawrence. Don't give up the ship. Something positive's going to happen. Hey, for NCTV45, I'm Angelo Parada. You make sure you have a great day. And stay tuned. We got a lot of great programming coming your way. Have a great day, everybody.